everybody, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I am Tammy. This is Tammy Talks. We are here to talk about Married at First Sight, season 13, episode 14. I'm sorry, let me double check what it's called. Country Chaos. If you are brand new to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you are returning after searching me for a couple of weeks now, actually a couple of months now, go ahead, hit the subscribe button. I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I can only do that with your help. So please go ahead and subscribe. Thumbs up the video on the way in or on the way out, whichever works for you. And leave some comments down below because we are going to get into the foolishness that happened tonight, y'all. So let's get started with Zach and Michaela. You guys know how we do over here. If you are brand new, I do separate videos for each couple just because there are people that are truly only invested in one couple, or there's a couple you truly do not care about. So let's get started with Zach and Michaela, y'all. All right, so last week we know that Zach and Michaela got into an argument because Michaela wanted Zach to sleep in a different room. He said, if we're going to sleep in different rooms, I'm going to go home. He went home that night. The next morning, Michaela was upset about that. She ended up moving out. So if we pick up with Zach saying that, oh, we made up. It's okay. We made up. And it's like, okay. So they made up and they are headed on their way to the couples retreat. They're excited because it's a chance for all the couples to get back together. They see it as a way to renew and rejuvenate the relationship because they are excited, y'all. They're excited because, this is going to be it. This is going to be a fabulous time. Womp, womp, womp. All right, so on the way there, they decide to stop before they get to the trip because they want to have a conversation and see if they can do a little bit more talking and iron out whatever issues that they might have so that they can truly enjoy the trip, so they think. So while they're stopping, they have the same conversation that they have been having since episode, or like the first night in their apartment, about communication. They have different communication styles. Michaela is a very direct, assertive person. Zach is a more demure, softer spoken person. So Michaela comes across and he takes her as aggressive. He does not like how Michaela handles conflict. Michaela is a person that's very reactionary, and she has these outbursts, and she acts before thinking, and then she gets over it after a good night's sleep. Zach he's the complete different way, where it takes him time to kind of it takes Zach time to get past what has happened, and he likes to kind of deliberate on things. He has said time and time again that the way that Michaela handles arguments is not compatible with him. We have heard this conversation literally every episode, if not every episode. I'm tired of hearing about it, so I know they're tired of talking about it. I cannot be the only one. Why are we stuck on this merry-go-round going around and around and around? Y'all are not compatible. Y'all are not going to work. Let's be real. Zach is very bitchy. And Michaela just does not think. I don't want to call her crazy because I think something might truly be going on up here, but y'all do not have personalities that mesh well together. Again, experts, what the hell happened during the matching session that you truly thought that these two people were a good match? Do the experts do you guys watch them? Do you do observations? Because this is ridiculous. So they're out there and they're feeding goats. And Zach calls her a goat. Not in a malicious way, but he kind of says that she looks very grotesque. She tried to take a picture, and I could see right there where the weekend was going to go from there. It wasn't going to end the way that Zach was anticipating. So, Zach said that he's hoping that they can sleep in the same bed again. Michaela asks him why, and Zach says because it's fun, because you want to have sex. You want to have sex. That's why it's fun. So we get to the group. They're in this like beautiful like barn situation. Um where it looks like everything is very open. It's very, very beautiful. And they're sitting around and they're all cooking together. And Michaela gives the speech about being open and direct with your partner once everybody is like sitting down and eating. And she's saying that her and Zach are in a good place because they know how to communicate with one another. They know how they need to communicate with one another and what actions they need to take in order for them to best suit the other person's personality and communication style. So Michaela is saying just to be open, be very direct with your partner, your spouse, so that there's no hint of confusion on their part. If I tell you this is what I need from you, and I say it in a very direct manner, and this is what I need you to give me, this is what I need to do, this is how I process things. If you do it in that way, then according to Michaela and Zach, then everything should be fine. And I'm like, really? Because y'all have been telling each other what you want from the other person, what you need from the other person, and it's not working for y'all. Y'all are the last people to be giving advice. Floored. So then we have the girls that are sitting around and talking after having some lunch. And Michaela said that her and Zach somehow found love in the chaos. And I said, what love? What love? What love do y'all have? Y'all enjoy having sex together. That's what Zach and Michaela have. They enjoy romping, fucking, bumping, whatever you want to call it. That's what they enjoy doing. There is no love with y'all. It has always been lust. And if you go back to my first videos about this season, I have said that Michaela is deep in lust with him. She could not see back the pretty smile and the smooth chocolate skin. That is like she couldn't see past that. She has always been more like just full of lust. And it's like, damn girl, when is the last time you had sex then? Let's keep going. So the girls are talking about that, and Michaela's like really trying to put on and kind of like tell them we're in a good place and, you know, things are getting better. And all the girls are just kind of looking at her like, because that's how I would have been. Mirla was in the cut halfway asleep, like really kind of looking like, I don't want to be here with this foolishness that she's doing. So outside, the guys are all talking, and Zach tells them what happened with Michaela moving out over the disagreement that they had. And I don't know, I think kind of the way that I feel like Zach telling the story was more so his way of trying to put himself in a better light. You know what I mean? Because he's saying He's telling the story in a way where it's like, well, if Michaela would have just told me to stay, I would have stayed. But it's also kind of like, I think she implied that she wanted you to stay. I think that's what it is. But like I've said a while ago, Zach checked out. Zach's been gone. Zach has been out of here. So, all right. So then Michaela and Zach are outside, and they are having a talk about what marriage is and if they were ready for marriage. And Michaela asks Zach, you know, was he really ready for marriage? Because, you know, marriage is hard. And she doesn't think that Zach realized how hard it would be. And he said, no. I knew how hard marriage would be. I was ready for marriage. I wasn't prepared for how hard marriage would be with you. So Michaela loses it. She rubs all over her face, and she gets up and she starts running in her cowboy boots, and she's laughing and she's cackling, and I'm like, oh Lord, what is going on here? What is going on here? And then she comes back, and Zach is looking at her like, this is what I'm talking about with you. This is my problem with you. It's always this sense of extraness that always goes on whenever we have some type of conversation. And I get what Zach is saying. Because on one hand, Zach kind of feels like whenever we try to have these serious conversations or these deep conversations where we're getting to the root of our problem, you always have to have this explosive reaction, childish reaction, to where Zach kind of feels like he can't say what he really wants to say. And he can't. He truly can't. Because when Zach does say how he truly feels about something, Michaela flies off the fucking deep end each and every time. Each and every time without fail. So then Michaela said that she has been the only one that is really trying to make this marriage work because Zach said that he has been consistent since week 2. And Michaela said, if you have been consistent since week 2, when you checked out, then you have not been trying to make the marriage work. And I said, ooh, point Michaela. Because I see what Zach was trying to say, but it didn't make sense, right? Because week 2 is when Zach did check out. And if you are saying that you have been consistent since then that is you saying that you have gone into a place where you're just kind of complacent in a relationship. You're just kind of going along with the punches, just trying to bide your time through this. So Michaela said that they made, I guess Zach said they made the decision last night that they were going to divorce on decision day, and then they were going to take some time apart, some space from each other, and then they were going to try dating again. And Michaela asked him, like, what is the difference? What would be the difference in that? And I think I said this out of order. So she asked this, they have this snippet of conversation before she takes off running. But he said the difference would be, the circumstances would be different, which i.e. means he would be able to walk away easily and freely when he got sick of her bullshit. That's basically what Zach means by that. Because to me, it makes absolutely no sense. Y'all are not getting along right now. It makes no sense for y'all to get divorced on decision day, take some space, and then come back together and date. That doesn't make sense. Zach wants to keep having sex with her. That's all it comes down to. So Zach gets upset. He goes in the house, slams the door. I think he went inside to cry, because usually he does. Meanwhile, Michaela is outside, and she starts crying. And then Bao comes out, and Bao was talking to him, and talking to Michaela, and it's just kind of reiterating what they talked about earlier about how you have somebody that's actually engaged in communicating with you and is actually trying. So if Zach is trying, don't push him away. And Bao just kind of told her, just because you're at a point where you're ready to be married to him and you want to stay married to him and he is not at that point, you don't get to decide that makes him a certain way or a certain type of person. If you really want to be with him, you have to be ready to be patient. Michaela is not, because Michaela is not ready to be married. We see why this heifer is single. We see why this heifer has been single all these years and why she needed to get a dating app or a dating show to match her up with somebody. This heifer's batshit crazy. So they have these awards. These, like, they do like the yearbook superlatives. And Michaela wins most petty. And Zach voted her most petty as well. And Michaela thinks it's funny. So she's like, I'm the type that I'll take the spices out the house. What? I'll take the batteries out the smoke detector. What? I'll take the accelerator out of the dishwasher. What? And like, she's going on and on about it. And you can tell that Zach is, one, getting embarrassed by it. Zach is, two, turned off with the fact that she is petty. Or not that she's petty, but that she's so, what am I trying to say? That she is so excited about being petty. And Michaela is like getting in, and it's kind of like, okay, Zach, you want to tell me I'm petty? You want to say some petty shit? You've apparently told other people I'm petty, so I'm going to show you how petty I am. That's the energy that I got from it. And it got awkward because everybody was just kind of sitting there after a while like, okay. So they get in bed for the night. Zach is looking at his phone. Michaela gets in bed. And Zach tells her that her behavior was unacceptable today. He did not like how the argument or the conversation went that they had earlier. And that they have this argument where they kind of go back and forth about he is tired of having the same argument with her about the same thing. She agrees. She's confused as to where this current argument is coming from. And I agree with her. They seem like they had a good night. So I don't know why Zach wanted to ruin the night by even bringing that up. Enjoy the rest of the trip. Y'all seem like y'all were having a good evening. Things were going great. But if it's on your spirit, honey, it's on your spirit. So Zach, they get into an argument, and Zach tells her, you know what? I'm not going to argue about this. I'm exhausted with arguing about this. I'm just going to go to sleep. Michaela tells him, well, you can just go home tonight because I don't want to ride home with you tomorrow. And Zach is like, what are you talking about? So Michaela said, I wish I would have drove up here by myself so I don't have to try to figure out a ride home. And Zach is like, what are you talking about? I brought you up here. I'm going to take you home. Michaela said, well, I don't need a ride home. I'll find a ride home. So Zach said, okay, if we're not going to ride home together, then I can go home tonight. So then Michaela gets pissed and it's like, well, go home. Go home then. And Zach is like, okay, I'm going. But I want to make sure that you have a ride. So then Michaela is like, well, you don't care if I have a ride. You said that you were going home tonight. Zach was like, no, I told you that I am only going to go home tonight if you do not need a ride in the morning. And Michaela is like, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. And he was like, yes, it's fine. I will give you a ride home. So Michaela verbatim says, okay, I will ride home with you tomorrow morning. That's no problem. And Zach is like, okay, damn. So Zach's ready to turn over and go to sleep. Michaela picks up her cell phone and it's like, I'll tell you this. You can kiss my ass. Fuck you. I don't need a ride home. No, she's like, shut the fuck up. I don't need a ride home from you. And she calls her sister and it's like, I need a ride home tomorrow. Can you come get me? Because Zachary has decided to leave me here tonight. And Zach is like, I did not say that. So Zach gets on the phone with her sister and I am watching the entire time just like, because what is happening? What is happening? We are literally watching Michaela like self-implode at this point. So Zach tells her sister, look, I didn't tell her I was leaving her. She has a ride home tomorrow. On top of that, there are 4 other couples. There are 8 other people. Michaela does not need her sister to come get her. You can get a ride with someone, with either them or production. It's not a problem, sis. So Zach is like, what are you doing? You just said that you would ride home with me. Michaela said, I did not say that. And I'm like, what? So Zach is like, you know what? I am going home. I cannot do this. He said, I cannot do this. I am overwhelmed. He said he does not like the person he is when he's with her. He's over it. So he gets up, he starts getting dressed, and he packs up his stuff. Michaela is like, why are you leaving? So you don't want to stay here tonight. Zach is like, you know what? At this point, no. I do not want to stay here tonight. So they go back and forth arguing over, why can't you just lay down in the bed? Meanwhile, Bao is peeking out the door like this. And I'm like, oh yeah, Bao? Nosy. You need to be more worried about your husband and why he don't even want to sleep in the same bed as you tonight. Why Johnny don't even want to be in the room with you tonight. That's what you need to be worrying about, Bao. How dare you? Nosy ass. So then Zach has his things and he has his suitcase and he is walking towards the front door. Michaela comes running from the bedroom, snatches his suitcase, and it's like, oh yeah, you said I was petty, right? Takes the suitcase, throws it in the bedroom. Zach is like, can you stop? They go back in the room. I don't know if there was a physical altercation or not, like her grabbing him or whatever, but we hear him saying, stop, can you stop? Don't do that, whatever. So then he gets his luggage. He goes outside to tell everybody else bye, and they're like, oh my God, it's late. No, it's late. I forgot. Michaela told Zach earlier, it's too dark, it's late, it's dangerous. Just sleep here tonight and then get up, take a nap, and then go home in the morning. He was like, no, I'm going to go home tonight. So Zach is outside telling the group, it's fine. I can go home in the morning. I can go home tonight. I'll promise you. I promise to text you guys. Zach is a second away from crying, right? A second away from crying. So everybody in the group is like, they're on their way. They're talking him down. Ryan has him to the side, and he's like probably trying to talk him down, probably to the point where like, look, You know, you can have one of the bedrooms. We'll give up this, whatever, you know, will keep you from driving in the, you know, a black man out in the sticks driving in the pitch black in a BMW. You know, let's have a little bit of perspective about this. So Michaela comes out and starts yelling and stuff. So Zach gets in the car and speeds off. So Michaela is now yelling at Ryan, why didn't you stop him? Ryan said, what the fuck do you want me to do? He is a grown-ass man. Am I supposed to lay in front of the car? So then Ryan is like irritated. He's like, because we had him. We were dealing with it. And then you come and you mess it up. And this is why he's leaving in the first place. And I said, all right, Ryan. You don't want that smoke with Hurricane K. So then Hurricane K really comes out and we see Michaela walking through the Airbnb. And she is flipping over benches and she's pulling on the foosball table and she's knocking stuff over. And it's like, girl, don't tear up these people's house because you have a problem. Don't do that. That's tacky. That's tacky. It's immature. It's irresponsible. And it's just not necessary. So we then see somebody from production holding her back because she was probably about to tear up that bedroom. So they're holding her back because we're not going to lose our deposit on the Airbnb. And the camera crew is running in to film her. She slams the door, and that's all we see from Michaela that night. Bao tells us that later that night, Michaela came and got in bed with her. And because she could not sleep, and she called her sister, and her sister came and got her the next morning. What we saw tonight, Michaela should be overly embarrassed. She should be ashamed of her behavior. She should feel like pure shit at how she behaved. Because as an adult, absolutely inexcusable. Absolutely inexcusable for you to be a grown woman and that's how you resolve conflict. That's how you deal with that. I don't know if Michaela is on an upper of some sort. I don't know if Michaela took a couple bumps allegedly. I don't know if Michaela was drunk or if Michaela is bipolar. But whatever caused her to flip out the way she did tonight, for her to literally not remember what she said 2 seconds earlier, for her to black out that way, she needs to get some help. I am Tammy. If you have not already, please subscribe to the channel. Thumbs up the video. Leave some comments down below. How did you feel about the outburst? Was Zach in the wrong? Was Michaela in the wrong? I saw people on Twitter literally defending Michaela. It's weird. Please subscribe to my channel. Catch y'all in the next one.